First of all, I can't believe this just happened, but hear me out. What?
Just a cringe.
Oh, okay. Fine. Do you want me to tone it down? What? The fact that this thing happened is insane. And I don't think that you're going to really believe us when we're talking about this, but just hear us out. Elias and I were sneaking into this abandoned closed building with lots of keep out, get out signs. The building used to be a 3-story building. The first floor had a tiny cafe. The second floor had an old used bookshop. And the third floor, we actually had no information about it.
We Googled a lot. Nothing.
It used to belong to some family, right? But the whereabouts of the owners are nowhere to be found. We couldn't find that anywhere. People avoided talking and approaching the building for some reason. When we asked, they didn't know exactly why.
Apparently there was a shooting or something, but there's no official record.
And when Elias told me, I found it really weird. So I thought it would be like the perfect opportunity to make a video, especially since no one's talked about them.
So we packed up our filming gear, like the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
We headed out.
Exactly.
And I tagged along because it's a bookshop and a cafe that's abandoned and...
I needed a cameraman. Okay, that was it.
No. like it was a perfect opportunity for me to like get some new nice hardcover.
Listen, this isn't the time to talk about your collective fetish, okay? We're telling a serious story.
I'm looking for an espresso machine that still functions. Those are expensive.
We went to the building. It was upsetting because despite him telling me it was abandoned, it was surprisingly clean. I wanted to make sure that we could make an incredible, scary video in there, but the building seemed really fresh for some reason. As we were about to trespass, by the way, this is really incriminating for us to talk about.
I didn't get anything in the end, okay? Spoiler, I didn't really get anything out of this.
We'll get into that. Elias saw something in the upper floor and he said,
"What is that?"
And I was like, what is what?
What is what?
And he didn't respond.
What do you mean? What is what?
And I looked at the window and I couldn't find anything noticeable. The building was still a little old and dusty. There wasn't anything that stood out, and yet we both felt quite uncanny. Something didn't feel right. We didn't know what to do. We could have gone home, but it wasn't scary enough for us to run away. But oh, were we wrong. So we entered through the front door.
But as soon as we entered, we saw this weird man going upstairs.
Yeah, he didn't see us. We just saw him from the back, slowly walking upstairs, and his entire attention was focused upstairs. We got really confused, and we kind of became cautious, but curious more than anything. So we also entered. The first floor was a cafe. Not broken or burnt, but just dusty.
The espresso machines, they didn't seem broken, but they were big. I wasn't sure how I'm gonna carry them out.
Elias was completely distracted, and I also noticed something really spooky and abnormal in the room. Everywhere, on every inch of the wall, floor and ceiling, somebody wrote, "Get out," in different sizes and colors. I was scared out of my mind.
And then Daniel turned to a window looking outside, and then he just freaked out. I asked what's up, and he just seemed confused, and we should just go back. Like he suddenly suggested that we should just get out of here.
And Elias just carried the antique French press.
Yeah, I got something.
As we ran outside, we noticed that the surrounding people of the neighborhood were staring at us. Their eyes were blank and they seemed dreadfully tired. All of them were carrying rifles or blunt weapons for some reason, and this isn't very common in Canada. We got scared about everything. Everything was off. We came back home, so Elias was basically playing with his French press. I came to look what it was, and he pulled its handle up. And I'm like, what kind of a French press has a handle that goes up?
All French press have a handle that goes up.
Okay, but you should have known that this wasn't a French press, okay? It started beeping and blinking with lights.
That was just a decorated, unique, vintage French press.
He poured ground coffee beans and water into it. The beeping object started to smoke, and as soon as he dropped it, it caught on fire. We panicked like there was no tomorrow.
Don't patronize me. No one's sad as I am.
And as soon as we started to freak out, we heard this weird whistling sound. And that strange man we saw with the bow tie and markings on his arm barged in through the window with the fire extinguisher. And we didn't know what was going on. He put the fire out, and when the fire settled and our living room completely ruined, we introduced ourselves. And introduce is a really nice way of putting it. We yelled at him.
Yeah.
The strange man introduced himself as the doctor.
And we waited for the next word, like
Doctor what?
Kim,
Dr.
Lebroni.
What doctor?
And he just said, the doctor.
The doctor whom? He told us that we were in terrible danger.
Which was evident, like we are in danger.
Yeah, from him.
Yeah.
He's the danger.
The house is caught on fire.
So when he said we were in danger, I thought he was just making this general threat. So he explained to us what was going on. Apparently, when the strange mechanical object left the building, arrived at our apartment, and started beeping, he detected an alien technology and tracked it down to our place. So what you brought was an alien technology, not a coffee machine.
I mean, it's French, so technically.
No, not technically. The alien text couldn't be be detected properly due to the perception filter.
Whatever the hell that is.
But because we brought it outside of its influence zone, the TARDIS detected and traced to our apartment. What the heck is a TARDIS? This guy talked almost like
We should know this.
we should know what he's talking about. What the heck is going on? The doctor rapidly explained that there's an alien in hiding, collecting abandoned alien tech to repair its spaceship. So the doctor now asks us what happened. Why do we have this alien technology? So we told him all about it. We went in there to make some video content. It was abandoned. There was an espresso machine. Elias committed theft.
It was abandoned. Like, it was technically not theft if nobody owns it.
And I suddenly suggested that we should run. I don't know why I said it though.
Yeah.
I just had this uneasy feeling. And then the doctor said that two things seemed to be wrong in his opinion about what we just told him.
Yeah.
First of all, the tech we brought back belonged to Sontarans, not the Silence.
What is Sontarans though? What's the silence? What is he talking about?
Sontarans, they're just an alien that's really good at fighting. They look like a potato head. The Silence are apparently something called memory-proof life form. What does that mean?
He said we can only remember them as long as we see them. As soon as we break eye contact, all our memories will get wiped.
That's insane. And so the doctor explained that when I freaked out in that abandoned building, I saw the Silence. However, when I turned away, I immediately forgot about it.
So apparently only Daniel got to see it and I didn't.
No, you did see it.
Have I?
Yeah, because when we first went into the building, you said, "What's that in the window?"
No, I didn't. What do you
Oh,
mean?
because he's supposed to forget.
Didn't you say there were a lot of people with weapons nearby?
Yeah, so first I thought they were all under hypnotism to protect the creature. But apparently every humanity is supposed to have a basic command to kill those creatures on sight.
What the doctor did, basically, in really short summary, he tricked the Silence into ordering kill all the Silence on sight. And he recorded that and put it in the moon landing video. So any person that ever watches the moon landing video has that command inserted into their heads. So every time they see the Silence, they try to kill them. And apparently that's how we got rid of most of the Silence, except this creature who's been hiding.
That's the thing. We didn't get that command. We didn't try to kill the creature when we see it.
Yeah.
And that was the second point Doctor made. We should have been trying to kill the creature, but we didn't.
The doctor also said that we were in terrible danger and that we should probably come with them if we want to live. That's as much of a convincing as we needed before we went to his police phone box. He called it the TARDIS. He opened it as if he was entering a house and we rushed in. And we saw, what did we see? It was bigger on the inside. The inside was bigger than the outside. The outside was smaller than the inside. We went into this thing called the TARDIS. It was a time machine, a space time machine. It can go anywhere in space and time, okay? And holy crap, it was bigger on the inside.
What he said.
No biggie. The console room was glowing with red and warning bells. The doctor began to run around. He pressed buttons. The creature was apparently inside the TARDIS. It got in and went into hiding somewhere in this infinitely spaced machine.
He called it dimensional engineering,
Which
I don't get.
I feel like this guy just puts in random sci-fi words into real words and hopefully we don't ask any more questions.
He told me how they build it. Like, apparently you're supposed to picture fitting a very big box into a smaller box and then make one.
Great. Yeah. And how you make an iPhone is you put... The alarm only went on because TARDIS noticed a non-approved passenger going deeper than console room, which is where we were at. He told us we need to look for it.
Yeah, that was weird too.
Somehow he wants us to be part of his monster capturing
Quest.
What the heck is wrong with this guy? But he was so charming, you know? How do you say no to that guy?
Yeah.
So someone else, he meant us, must go looking for the creature. He hands us a pen and a mechanical thingamabob. He just called it a thingamabob. He didn't even bother explaining this time. If we find it, we're supposed to isolate the room so that the creature can't escape. And the way we figure out we've seen it, every time we see it, before we forget, we're supposed to maintain our eye contact, take out the pen, leave a mark in our arm. And so when we look away and we forget, we still have that mark in our arm. So we're supposed to check our arm every couple minutes.
Yeah.
Sounds simple enough and not life-threatening. So we started at the console room and we went into this room. The room said stuff from Gallifrey. We didn't know what it meant, but there was a lot of stuff that we probably shouldn't touch. So we kept on going. We went through this gigantic bath and spa. I can't believe this thing was here. And how is the water supposed to remain within the bath when the spaceship is going out and about in space?
Artificial gravity.
Good answer.
What else could be there?
And then there was a library called Liquid Knowledge. There was a prison storage where the broken bits of his so-called enemies were stored. There was like a plunger.
There was a plunger. There was the kitchen mixing thingy.
And then there was a freaking dressing room and wardrobe. And then we went to this gigantic bouncy castle. The entire room was filled with the bouncy castle. Holy crap. We were supposed to look at our arms.
Have you been looking?
I kind of have forgotten about it.
I lost my pen.
I didn't. So we forgot to look at our arms for like the past 1 hour.
Yeah.
So we look back and I look at my arm and it just had one line on it and it said the dressing room. So I'm guessing the creature was in the dressing room. We probably should go back, eh?
No. We don't go back.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to just close it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the thing? Do you have a thing about Bob?
Think about Bob? Yeah, I think I have.
Where is it?
Probably in the dressing room.
You stay here. I think I lost mine in the liquid knowledge room. Just gonna quickly get there. How do I get there?
Go through the dressing room.
Can we go around?
No, we cannot. So we go to the dressing room, right? I see the thing about Bob and I get to it and I see the creature. Apparently, I don't remember. And I press the button. The thing's closed and I remember I have to get out. So I open it again and I get out and I press it and I forget why the dressing room is closed and I open it and I see the person again. So I close it again. Elias smacks me in the face, telling me to stop opening the dressing room, telling me the creature was in there. I was like, okay, good. And the doctor shows up and is like, everyone good? Everyone okay? And I'm like, you were literally zero help. All in all, we finally got the creature. We got out of the TARDIS.
And the doctor said we need to take the creature to something called People Mainframe.
Whatever that means. He promised that he'll come back soon.
3 months passed. 3 months.
3 months passed and he did not show up. This motherfucker said he'll be right back. The building owner found out about the damage by the 2nd month and we had to look for a place by the 3rd month. We were busy looking for a new place to live and out of nowhere, when we least expected, the wheezing sound of wind surrounded our place. And a few seconds of creaking later, the ceiling collapsed and a big blue police box fell through the cracks. The doctor came out looking around. He was still so charming. Finally, the doctor said, you know, I could just help you guys get a new place, or just talk to the building owner and I could let you guys stay here for the rest of your lives, or you could come with me. What do you say? All of time and space, all of history, everything that ever happened and ever will happen. Do you want to see? And so we said, hold on. When we came into this room, he's in the other door right now. Say, what do you think? Do you want to come?
Wait, what?
The doctor's in the other room. There's a TARDIS above us. Do you want to come?
You guys are going? Are
mean-
you guys crazy? You guys are following that stranger again.
I mean, the way we told the story, it does sound like we were almost in life-threatening situations, which we were. And he said one thing and does another all the time. But
He has a big ass library.
and look at his jawline.
Well, I need to look at that jawline too.
And so Daniel, Elias, and Seh decide to follow the doctor, and they will probably end up dying in the next episode or something. Thank you guys so much for listening. This scenario was inspired by Doctor Who episodes Blink, The Lodger, and Journey to the Center of the TARDIS. And the story was written by Elias. Hopefully you enjoyed this format. And if you guys have any suggestions on what kind of adventures we could talk about, and if you like this way of storytelling, let us know. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So you coming along?